today's the day to get that Kirby Tradition assembled and back together. Now don't forget everything in the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those Kirby products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous video we got that Kirby Tradition stripped down. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. I'll put an card above linking to that. And so today's video we're going to get those bearings repacked and get this Kirby polished up and get it reassembled and see how she runs. So let's dive straight into it. With the circlip you're going to get some thin nose pliers. You're going to want to get one side out at a time. So what I do is squeeze that and then get a thin screwdriver and just put that down the side to stop that returning back in. That way then it's out, and just release the other side. So pop it in there, and out it pops. To release this bearing so we can grease it, we're just going to use the back of the spline. So get that and just give it a light tap. And out it comes. Now to re-grease this, you're just going to need a Stanley blade. Now just be gentle not to damage it. So I'm just going to slide it down the side and then just lift that out. You can see that they're pretty dry. So we're just going to put some wheel bearing grease in there. I will put a link down below of the one I use, but we want to repack both sides. And now for the armature, exactly the same. I've worn a glove so I'm not going to get it covered in grease. I'm only going to pat the one side because I don't want to risk getting any grease on the armature. But this should spread, once those bearings start turning, this should spread. And put our top back on. And that should be fine. Now to clean that out, just going to put a little bit of grease in there to help that bearing go in. Right, so we're going to refit the armature in reverse. So we're going to pop our washer in, pop our armature in gently, and we're going to feed that back in there. Make sure you've got the top where the top is, so where there was are there the top, and we're just going to wiggle that until it locates. Try not to trap any wires, and slot that in place. Feed our wires through so they're not trapped. 4 bolts. Because these brushes haven't got much wear on them, and if we put them next to a new one, there's literally a couple of mil missing. So there's no point changing them. So we're going to put these back in. So when you put your brush back in, just make sure you've got it in like so. Lower that spring. What you can do is push that down with a screwdriver to hold that in place. Slide our brass fitting in. Let that come through. Push down. and then lock that in place. And that's one bush fitted. And now we'll fit the bottom one. So flip her over, remove our brush, remove our fitting. Now this is the main wire that goes forward to the front, that's why it's all loose. We fit another brush, so pop that in, make sure that the spring goes in. Again, don't have your face over the top. Push that down with a screwdriver, keep that down. We're going to slot our fitting in, half and half. There you go, push it in, and that's locked in place. Everything's been polished up, so we're going to fit our front plate. So we're going to feed these wires through. So those are going to go to our safety switch about there. Grab our front plate, feed that through there. Now the Kirby Tradition is fully assembled. As you can see, that's pretty gleaming, looks really, really nice. And I think for a Kirby of 45 years old, that's come up absolutely awesome. But even the bag and all the assembly looks a lot better than it did when we first got it. Let's give this a bit of a test run. Now don't forget, everything using the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those Kirby products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Right, so I enjoyed the reassemble of that Kirby Tradition, and as you can see, it sounds pretty awesome, but has that made a massive difference to the CFM? In a following video, we will be checking out the CFM after the refurbishment and see if it's made a difference. Thanks for watching, happy cleaning, and I'll catch you in the next one.